How do I photograph this? What lens should I use? Is my composition balanced? How do I expose for that? These are the most common problems that photographers face while they are out in the field. But there is a bigger one, a silent one that overshadows all of the above, to the point that it might keep you from going out to photograph. Your mood. We wait for inspiration to strike, but what if the wrong mood is actually your best tool? In my early photography steps, I heard an advice that puzzled me. You need to be in a good state within in order to be able to photograph. That's what they told me. It puzzled me because I felt more creative when I was in an emotional turmoil and started wondering. I heard it at a time where, in a true teenager fashion, I often chased that emotional distress because it made me feel alive. Was I doing something wrong? Many years have passed, and that advice lingered at the back of my mind. I started noticing that through the years, I was being equally creative at happy spells too. And then the realization hit me. It's not either this or that. It is both. The solution is working with what you have, as with all things in life. My project, Charcoal Land, is the beginning of this realization, and it happened on a gloomy winter day 14 years ago. Let's decode it. It was a heavy winter morning, and I was sitting in front of the fireplace, arguing with my girlfriend at the time about work and how useful it is to be a photographer in a place where everyone is into hospitality and dining. I guess the mentality of the mountain people is that if you're not doing manual labor, then you're kind of useless. In a place where your worth is measured by how much wood you can chop, holding a camera feels like you're holding a toy. For an artistic soul like mine, that was a burden I didn't need, and combined with a failing relationship, you can understand that I was approaching an all-time low. The room air felt stifling and I needed an escape. I grabbed my camera gear and went out to photograph. If I couldn't find validation from the ones close to me, I would find it from strangers. Take a wow photo, upload it, and rejoice when the likes start coming in. At least that was the plan. There was a problem though. I wanted grandeur, but everything outside was flat, while everything inside was heavy. I clearly remember having a song by Lycia in my head. The morning breaks, so cold and grey. And as I was walking on the snow-covered road outside my village, I was trying to find places and angles in order to visualize the plan that I had in my head. That epic vista that would get me the likes. I failed. Nothing worked. And in retrospect, it was to be expected. And the song was getting louder in my head. It became so loud that I finally embraced it. The morning was breaking, both cold and grey. So why was I fighting it? Why was I fixed into creating something that just wasn't there? Both my heart and the landscape were showing me a different path. Why not take it? And I did. I switched to a telephoto lens and started taking photos reflecting my mood. I excluded the sky because it had nothing to offer and started sniping forms and textures. I wasn't thinking, I was just feeling. That is how Charcoal Land was born. It became a blurred line between photography and a charcoal drawing. What started as a desperate search for validation ended up as one of my first true artistic expressions. I will actually do a deep dive into that transition from taking photos to making art in a future video. So if you want to keep up to date, make sure that you are subscribed. The project isn't the product of technical perfection, but of emotional honesty. A realization that both the gloomy weather and my spirits weren't an obstacle, but the ingredients for this specific body of work. This is my favorite image of the project, and I think it incorporates the shift from generic to personal. Look at this frame. There is no sky, no horizon, no epic mountain peak. In any other mood, I would have called this a messy shot. I would have looked for a clear subject, but that morning, the mess was a subject. These black lines cutting through the white snow, they felt like the song in my head visualized. I wasn't looking for a landscape, I was looking for a mirror. And in this tangle of trees and rocks, I found exactly how I felt. Crowded, cold, and stripped down to the essential. By stopping the search for perfection, I stumbled into honesty. But this video isn't about my bad day 14 years ago. It is about your bad day tomorrow, and how by embracing your mood, bad or good, projects can be formed, just like mine did 14 years ago. Photography isn't a game of chance, but an effort of realization. If you're waiting for all the stars to align, you are destined for mediocrity at best, failure at worst. This is the most common mistake beginners and even seasoned photographers make. Fixating on a final outcome is a very limiting factor. Feels like a horse wearing blinders. I was there. I know how it feels. Don't make the same mistakes that I did. If you don't feel like going out just because the mood isn't there, harness this moment. Use it to your advantage. It happened to me by accident a long time ago, and it has been cultivated into a habit today. This is the only struggle you need to overcome. Your settings, your lenses, your apertures start as a nuance, but vanish over time. The real effort is to work with how you feel inside and make something even if your mood tells you otherwise. Give it a try. Bring your bad mood into the field and see what it shows you. You might be surprised at what you will find. Let me know in the comments if you have turned a bad day into a good photo or even a project, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.